Now, come on, Philip. Here now. Come on now.
I thought you were amusing me. Sorry, Yves.
I know you want to make Spurs great again, but that's taking the proverbial monkey. They're trying to inside takeover.
Sorry,
I know you're like.
Sorry.
You've taken the leaf out of Levy's book, sneakily way in.
Yeah, right. Now, yes.
Now, did you like my new slogan? Let's make Spurs great again.
We are great, Dermot. We are great. No, nobody can actually acknowledge it that we're great. You know?
No, that's true. Well, I'll tell you what. Good evening. Welcome to THFC to live. Can you check if we've gone live, Philip, on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if we've gone live. I tell you why I'm asking. My other I have a monitor that deals with like the chat coming in, the views and the chats and everything shows live. Yeah, okay, we are live. Granted, it's just because it froze on me, so I was just making sure.
All right. Live. Yeah, no, we're live.
Now we're live. Good evening. Welcome to THFC Till I Die, home of Tottenham past, present, and the exciting future with me, Dermot, aka the Dermatron, and the man next to me who is the godfather of THFC Till I Die. He is probably next down to Bill Nick in legend status. There's Bill Nicholson, Keith Birkinshaw, Arthur Rowe, and then Philip Brady.
Thank you, Dennis. Checks in the
post.
So,
how are you, Philip? How are you this evening? I know you haven't been well. Great to see you back.
Yeah, I'm okay. Now? Yeah, I'm okay. I had a bit of not an illness. I had one of these nasty growths on the back of my neck that I had to get seen to. You know, so. I'm on penicillin at the minute, so if I start raving like a lunatic, you know, any more than usual, I should say, then that's what's causing it, you know.
Yeah. Look, it was media day today at Tottenham, wasn't it? All the photos have been on. I have a rant to make at the start of this show, Philip. Now it's slightly Premier League.
Do I have to go make a tea? Right, go on.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. It's Premier League related. My rant.
Okay.
It's to do with their website. Can they please, for the love that's holy and everything that is brought down from the skies, Odin, Thor, Loki, whatever who you believe in, can you please update your website?
Why have they still got Accrington Stanley is winning the championship?
They still have it last season's kits on there. I'm trying to download the players for thumbnails. I don't know what. I've been waiting 2 months for them to update their website.
Yeah, I think that probably the reason they don't do it that often is that Manchester United change their kit about every 3 weeks. I suppose they're fed up doing it, you know.
So if anyone's watching from the Premier League, which I will really highly doubt, but if you are, for the love of bloody holy God, will you please update your website? Thank you. Rant over. Philip has not got a clue what I'm on about.
Rant over. Oh, I do. Yeah, no, I can understand. They should be up to date, and they're not. You know,
they should be. You go onto every other website. There are even Tottenham's own website. They haven't even updated yet their own website yet.
Maybe they will after the media day today. You know.
Yeah. What do you think of the media day? It's a good thing, isn't it? It's for players to get in.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I mean, I think the players must think it's a pain in the arse because they have to change their kits about 3 or 4 different times for all the different photographs. You know, and different kits. I think Vicario had about 3 different outfits. But yeah, it's a good day. And it's also good for the new lads, you know, to get indoctrinated into it, you know.
Do you think? I reckon they should put fans in there, make it like a Greek fan stay as well, so the fans can come and meet the players and get autographs and pictures.
Yeah,
and make a bit more of a family sort of feel.
They're probably getting in the way of the. I can see there's probably a time slot given for this, and if you had fans around, they might delay it. It's a good idea, but I think that's the reason they have the open training days, maybe at the stadium, to make.
Did they have it back in when you were younger, Philip? Back in the 60s, no, 60s, 70s,
not at all. No? Alan Gilzine would turn up for a fan day. He'd be too busy down the pub. No, no, nothing like that at all. So down the back in those days, the players used to come to the match on the bus, not the bus. You know, on the number 136 or whatever passes by the ground.
Yeah,
you know?
we were talking, weren't we, backstage before we came on about Bill Nick, and I said a few seasons ago that I felt his soul had been lost his soul wasn't felt within Tottenham, the stadium. And I see too, when you go there, you can feel the presence of Bill Nick there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's an overpowering presence. He always will be. He always will be at the club. Like I know they used to have a bust of Bill Nick in the West Stand. They should have a statue. You know, a bust isn't enough.
What's your take on Enoch? And I wonder, and I know we're going to talk about Bissouma, and we will get into the chat in a minute, guys, and we are going to talk over, Bissouma and a bit of Ange's press conference today as well. But why you say that, Philip? We might as well start on that. Why don't you look at United? They have statues of Busby, of Charlton, Law, and Best.
Mm-hmm.
They got a statue of Sir Matt Busby. They got the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. You look at Liverpool. They got the Shankly Gates. They got probably a statue of Paisley somewhere, and the Kenny Dalglish stand. Leeds. They got a statue of Billy Bremner up there,
and the Jack Charlton stand. The Norman Hunter stand as well. They have up there.
Why can't we, as a club? And this is the one thing I'm angry with Levy and Enoch for, and I've said it before. And early in the channel's history, Philip, way back before even you joined, I did a show with Dave one morning. We used to do a morning show, and I did a show one morning with Dave about this very subject about nearly 3 years ago now, and it was all about statues and naming. And I'm angry they haven't done this, and I feel Levy should be ashamed of himself. And I'm not Levy bashing, but he should be ashamed of himself. Why can we not call the South Stand the Bill Nick stand, or the East Stand the Arthur Rose stand, and celebrate we should. And then for the likes of Tequila and Boris, the younger fans, it gets them involved in it as well, Philip.
I think probably the reason that the stands haven't been named is probably financial, because until the naming rights is sorted out, it's very possible that each stand could be named the Microsoft stand, the Amazon stand, and that's probably why that hasn't been done. But there is no excuse for not having a statue. There really is. I know they buried his ashes beneath the stadium or whatever. That's lovely. That's very nice. But there really should be a statue of Bill Nick in the entrance hall on the South Stand.
I'm not laughing at you. Have you seen what the Keelers put at the bottom? I find that funny. Read the bottom bit.
Yeah, right.
I will bring it up. Yes. I wasn't laughing at you for that. I just saw that come in and it just started I haven't taken any laughing gas.
Oh, you know, it's I know we're laughing at it, but it is quite a serious subject in reality.
But no, why? Surely a statue of they got the clock back up. The gates are supposed to be where they're going to put the gates. God only knows. I don't know where they're going to put them.
They'll find somewhere. They'll find some. They'll probably make ornamental gates. They probably won't lead anywhere. They'll probably build a wall and put the gates in front of it or something like that. But you know, Dermot, you're talking about statues, really. In my opinion, okay, I know Bill Nick should have a statue of Bill Nick. There should also be a statue, in my opinion, of Danny Blanchflower, right? The captain of the double winning team. Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah.
Best player, one of the best players we've ever had.
Jimmy Greaves.
And Steve Perryman.
What about Jimmy Greaves?
Oh, Jimmy Greaves. Well, sorry. Yeah, of course, Jimmy. Oh, yeah, my favorite Jimmy. But then again, you know, you're going to overkill if you do all that. So why not simplify it and just have one for Bill Nicholson, because he managed nearly all those players.
Yeah. I think you should call the West Stand the Steve Perryman stand. Yeah. I agree with you about the naming rights, by the way.
Yeah.
The North Stand, the Arthur Rose stand. The South Stand, the Sir Bill Nicholson stand. And he was never knighted, and that's the biggest travesty of the bloody lot.
And neither was Jimmy Greaves.
No, but Matt Busby was knighted.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bobby Charlton
was knighted. Bobby Charlton was knighted. I don't think Bob Paisley was, no. But I'll tell you, the only reason Jimmy Greaves wasn't knighted, if he'd have played in the World Cup final of '66, he probably would have been.
But, that's a travesty.
You know, but there was no substitutes allowed in those days. Jimmy got injured playing versus France. He got a gash on his shin. He didn't get into the quarterfinal or from there on. And Jeff Hurst came in, and the rest is history.
Well, look,
Jeff Hurst is a sir. Jeff Hurst is a star, you know. So.
But the thing is, Jeff Hurst took his chance, Philip.
He did. Of course he did. And fair play to the lad. But I'm just saying, life can deal you a rough deal. Jimmy Greaves had a rough deal because all that contributed to his later problems in life, you know.
It did. Well, let's go through the chat. Big up to Tequila, who says hello.
Hi, Tequila.
I believe in Tequila. Well, Tequila's new motto is let's make Spurs great again. That's his new motto.
In a high-pitched voice.
In a high-pitched voice. And he says, Man United changed their kit nearly as often as Chelsea changed managers.
Yeah, that's true.
Just go through the rest of them there for a minute if you can, Philip.
Yeah, hang on. Now, where are we? I'm up to that. Let's get up here now. Sorry. Yeah, and the next one is Liston Hines is saying, if Bissouma is out, does that mean Bergvall definitely will start? We'll talk about that in a while. I think Bergvall may start, but I don't think it'll be in place of Bissouma because Bergvall is a more attacking midfielder than Bissouma. But we'll see about that later on in the show. Tequila again, big up Dermo and Big Phil. How are we? Oh, we're grand. Yeah, we're good. And again, big up Liston Hines. And DJ Samuel's in the house. He's saying, good evening, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Bissouma might miss 10 games. Yeah, I know we're going to discuss this, but I think what punishment he's been handed out at the moment is only the start of it. I think there's going to be more, and deservedly so. And Liston Hines is saying thumbs up to Tequila. And get down to the next one here if I can. It's back of the net. Is saying, evening, lads. It's been a while. Yeah, it has. Good to see you back in. And the Hotspur Lounge is in the house again. And he's saying, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, sir. And now this is the one. Now Tequila. Dermo, come and join I take it that's the dark side with me. The levy outside. Free laughing gas for anyone who joins me tonight. Just me and Big Biss hanging out. Nothing's got a comment on that. It says it all.
It does. We know who Tequila's hanging out with. Big up. Say hi to Biss first. Can I just say, this is the only West Ham fan I actually respect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good lad.
Yeah. Good lad. He is a good lad.
Early Doors Football TV. Good evening, Dermot and Philip. How are you, sir? Geez, West Ham have been going to town on the transfers. 8 players.
I tell you, West Ham could be a dark horse this season.
Could be. I said that. I said West Ham could be a dark horse, you know. And anyway, Tequila is saying, just jesting, lads. Oh, you're not. Oh, I thought you were deadly serious.
So did I.
And I take it this is balloons. I think there's a bit of a message there.
They're forever blowing bubbles.
No, Dermot, you blow up balloons with nitrous oxide. I think that's probably what he's getting at there,
they bought balloons for Barney the dinosaur because he made it back to West Ham today.
Oh, I thought he got lost in Moscow or something.
No, he went to Euro 2024. He got lost, and then he's just made it back today.
All right, okay, all right.
He went on a European tour.
Good for him. I think that's all the comments now.
Yeah, there is. We'll just bring this one here.
Oh, no,
Bill Nicholson and Jimmy Greaves should get a statue ASAP. Then when Kane retires, he will need one.
Yeah, you see, there's so many players you could put them up for, you know, really.
Big up to Simply Ace. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
He says, all good. Thanks, Philip. Big up.
Good man.
Big up, Shamu. I've Perisic on the free again.
See that he didn't last long at Hadjug split, did he? Although I suppose his age and his injury list maybe is. Or some club will pick him up. He can still do a job for them. He was good during the Euros for Croatia. So
would you take him back?
Nah, I don't think so. No, his age profile doesn't suit.
And also, your mate got a new job today as well.
Yeah, I'm delighted for him. Actually, that's a good job for him.
Yeah,
it's a good job for him. He's good talent to work with over there, you know. And good luck to him. I think it's. I wonder has he taken his usual team with him?
Yeah,
Jesus, what do you call him? No, good luck to Poch now. I'm glad to see him.
Yeah, Tequila's devastated because he wanted him to become England manager.
Oh, right, okay, nice. Yeah, England missed out there. He would have done. Yeah, he would have done. I was going to say he would have done a good job getting close, but not close enough. You know.
Perisic has left Hijack basically because of that twat got
Gattuso. That's the idiot that had to go at Joe Jordan during the Champions League back in the day. I don't know the story behind that. What actually happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear. All I knew, he left.
Yeah,
he left. Now, look, we are look. let's start. Where do you want to start? Europa League or Bissouma?
I suppose get the elephant out of the room first.
Right, here we go. So, Ange had his press conference today. He has been suspended for Monday's game against Leicester. I think I was speaking to our source today, Philip, and you said to me about leaving the flag out for the FA. The FA are investigating this, so there will be.
I think what they've done here is the club have acted very properly here. They couldn't allow the FA to come in over them. They had to make the first move.
Yeah.
And now they've made the first move. What Bissouma will get eventually will be a lot more than a one-match ban, that's for sure. Yeah.
So look, look. Let's see what Ange said about it. Actually, in the press conference, Ange was asked about him, and that's about the transfers. He says it's all about behaviour, mate. It's quite simple. Right. It's him making better choices moving forward and behaviour. He was obviously disappointed, and he's very apologetic. Well, too late now. Not just to me, but to the club and to everyone involved. He should put out a statement and apologise to the fans as well, by the way. This is not just the first part of the process. The next part is behaviour. Now making sure, like I said, he does the things he needs to do. Like all of us, we all make mistakes. Yes, we do all make mistakes. Of course we do. It's part of human nature to make mistakes. It is how you fight your way back from those mistakes, and what you do is far more important than what you say. Has Ange done the right thing?
Yeah, he is keeping it low key at the moment, right? He's not defending him, but he's given a reason for what he did. His behaviour was out of order. He's now disappointed. He said he was sorry. Then see, this is just the first part of the process. That's a very telling thing there. The first part is he's been banned for one match by Spurs. But I think what's going to happen here is the FA will get involved, and I'll be very surprised now if he doesn't get, I don't know, put a number on it, but a multi-match ban for this. Yeah. And hopefully he doesn't get involved with the police, because it was an illegal. He did use a Class C drug, which can be punishable by prison. So hopefully it doesn't go that far.
Well, who knows? Look, the second part was very long-winded, but there's bits in here I want to take out, Philip. Firstly, it's about sanctions. And he says here, he doesn't make concept, says, within that context, there are still sanctions that are involved. Some of those sanctions include education and giving them a clearer understanding of why he did what he did and how wrong it was. What do they mean by sanctions, Philip? What do they mean? Do they mean by suspending them was one sanction?
Well, probably be a fine. Suspension is a sanction. There's loss of privileges could be another sanction. It could be told to train with the kids for a while. That could be another sanction. You know, there's financial sanctions as well. They could fine them quite heavily. And, so sanctions covers a multitude, really. It covers nearly anything disciplinary that they want to throw at him. It'll just be interesting to see what happens next. And whether he accepts his punishment and gets knuckles down and gets on with it. It'd be worse now if he starts being bullish about it and saying, I don't deserve this. I don't think that's going to be the case, because I think he has apologized and he realizes he did wrong.
Now, I've talked to my source. He's heard from somebody that he could be finished at Spurs. That's it. Ange will want him out now. Well,
that's what we discussed the other night, Dermot. And to me, I was a very big defender of Bissouma. Have been all since he came. And I'm of the opinion now the club is better off without him, because I don't think he'll ever get rid of the stain of what he's done. It'll be thrown up to him. You'll have every away match now. There's going to be boys talking in high pitched voices at him and throwing balloons at him and stuff like this. So I don't think. I think for the good of the team, I think it's time he was moved on.
I mean, look, every player makes mistakes. You can go through, I said before Monday, but you can go through generations of football and you find every players, like from George Best to Paul Gascoigne to Tony Adams to probably Ivan Toney. They all make mistakes. Yeah. But it's how you come back from them mistakes, how you learn from them mistakes, how you rebuild
how you react. It's how you react. It's you knuckle down and get on with it and make people forget what you did by your performances, or do you sit in the corner and sulk and let it wash over you and get the better of you?
Yeah, I mean, it goes on here to saying it's a very telling point. It says the second part of that, he's also a footballer, so he has a responsibility to the club, his teammates, to our supporters, and everyone associated with the club. He failed in those duties. So Ange is very tough on him here. I said yesterday this would either make or break Ange, in my opinion. Either if he could be too lenient on him, it would look bad on him, and players think, well, we can get away with this stuff, or he can be too hard on him, and the players are thinking, hang on, I'm being hardly done by him. Yeah. So do you think Ange's got it right?
Yeah, I think Ange would have had a long discussion with the club's legal representation before he made that comment. He was schooled in what to say, because if he'd have come out with the wrong sentence, or said it the wrong way, or misspoke something there, he could be accused of supporting Bissouma and not being hard enough on him. So he's gone right down the middle by taking legal advice, and as I said, that's the first step, and there's more to follow.
Yeah. I mean, also the last bit is about trust, earning the trust. He said that's where is it? The bottom bit there. He says, and beyond that, there's also trust building that needs to happen between Biss and me, Biss and the group. That's what he needs to work hard at from now on to try and win that back. So what is winning back trust in your view? What does that mean? What does that entail for Bissouma?
Well, okay, the only thing, to win back the trust of his manager and his teammates, right? He can't do it again. That's the first thing, right? You have to make sure it never happens again. Secondly, he can knuckle down now. He can sit and realize, listen, I'm on my last chance saloon here at Tottenham now, right? I have to knuckle down, get back to the form that I had when I arrived here first, when he was an absolute worldie, right? And if he does that, he produces a few man of the match performances, assuming he plays again. I'm assuming he's going to get back into the team at some stage. Then that will rebuild the trust, right? But sitting on his hands and be feeling sorry for himself and moaning and groaning about everything it's not fair, it always happens to me, that's not going to instill trust. That's going to make other team members distrust him even more.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, his performances haven't been great. And I've been quite critical of him since the Luton game, where you've been very positive of him.
Well, so, I know he's had the dips in his form, but I've seen him play. I've seen him play against Burnley. He was brilliant, and he had a reasonably good pre-season as well. So it's in there. It's just I hope this doesn't knock it out of him. But as I said, with great disappointment, I have to say that I do think his time at Tottenham is finished over this.
So if you were Ange Postecoglou and you were talking to Levy, would you say, right, get this player out of it for the unity of the group?
Well, possibly. And now I don't think there's going to be time to move him on. They've only got 2 weeks left of the transfer window or less. So I don't think it's going to happen this time. But it's up to him between now and next July to either knuckle down, get on with it, and reintroduce himself back into the group with no baggage. Or, as I said, feel sorry for himself, mope around the place, kicking cans down the road, not making any effort to play properly, and then he'd be gone like a shot in the summer. It's really up to him now, really.
It is in a way. But let's go through the chat, Philip. There's some people with some good points in the chat, so let's go through there. We've got, where are we up to? The kid is asking me to do it in an Aussie accent, Dermo. No, all I can say is g'day.
G'day, Colin.
G'day. I've stopped saying g'day. G'day may come back for when we do a watch-along. G'day. David Shear didn't like me doing g'day in a bad Aussie accent.
He probably was a very bad Aussie accent.
Yeah, he did. Jared O'Connor, I wouldn't like to do a crime on you, Jalen.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a bit radical. But he broke the law. He broke the law.
Did.
So
Yeah. Wayne, the Keeler's still waiting for his email back.
Uh-huh.
Get on that. Loss of privilege in Mountjoy jail.
No.
If anyone's wondering what we're laughing at, Mountjoy jail in Ireland is probably the toughest. Or is Port Leash prison the toughest prison? I could never work out.
No, I think Mountjoy is worse because Port Leash has all the category A, the guys from the terrorist type guys down there. You know
we're very careful what we say, Philip.
Be very careful what I say.
the Irish drinking
The
party.
struggles.
Yeah,
Yes,
the Irish drinking party. Yeah,
there's great fun down Port at the minute. See, like 8 guys in hospital.
Yeah, I know.
Drug overdose.
Gerard is saying, always said he was a Brighton fraud. Well, he had that problem. Well, look, I know where Gerard's coming from. He had that incident which he was found innocent of before he came to Tottenham. So trouble does find him, Philip. Trouble does follow him a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So do you get I get what he's getting at. I understand it's probably a bit much, but do you think he's that sort of character that he will find trouble?
You see, there are some. This is kind of I think I've probably said this before, Bill, and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Footballers, right? The majority of the footballers, right? If they were in everyday life, right? I mean, I don't want anyone to take this offensively or anything, but I'm just going to say it as it is. No, a lot of the normal footballers will be working in Aldi or Lidl, right? A lot of them, for no reason, nothing wrong with it. They may not have gone to school, so maybe left school when they were 15, right? And suddenly they're good with the football. They're earning 100 grand a week, but they can't cope with it. And that's what I think. Maybe the Bissouma fell into that category. Maybe he's just not able to cope with the lots of free time, lots of hangers-on claiming to be friends. That's the biggest problem young footballers have: is so-called friends that aren't friends at all. They're only hangers-on to see what they can get.
Then isn't that down to family? But we look at Paul Gascoigne. He was the biggest. Look, I think Paul Gascoigne wasn't looked after properly by anyone.
No club looked. Well, I mean, mind you, let's face it. Paul Gascoigne was a renegade. He probably didn't want to be looked after at this. He was a rebel.
Yeah, but
now he's paying the price. Player. Oh yeah, but I mean that's genius. Look at Van Gogh cut off his own ear. Genius,
But do you think if he went, Paul Gascoigne was on the podcast with Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer and Mike Richards the other day. And Alan Shearer asked him, would it have changed if he went to Man United? Yeah. Now, Paul Gascoigne for me is the answer he gave had me in stitches. He said, you got a French fella jumping in the crowd and kicking somebody in the neck. Yeah. You got another player running off with a granny, and another player's brother sleeping with his wife. He said, "I would have fitted in quite well there."
Not all chronologically right for his time of playing, but I get what he's coming from. Yeah,
yeah,
lovely. Yeah.
But I mean, I have an awful lot. Look, he made an awful lot of mistakes, Paul Gascoigne, in his personal life. But if you can separate that from the footballer,
yeah.
Do you feel as a footballer he was taken advantage of? And he was probably one of the last generation of players to be taken advantage of. Because if you look at Gareth Bale, how he's turned out, he'd done everything correctly. The club, he was looked after. So was Gascoigne the last player to be left to his own devices, where now there's clubs that got everything in place?
I don't think he's the last one down, and he won't be the last. Look at our own situation there a couple of years ago with Dele Alli.
Yeah.
No, it's always going to be there. Okay, it mightn't be as prevalent as it used to be, but there's always going to be the odd footballer that's going to go off the rails due to the company he's keeping, and especially ones living in London, because the temptation around London must be unbelievable with all the clubs and what have you, and the young lad away from home, it's not easy.
Yeah, he had agreed to go to Man United, and it was only because Ivan Scholar had said, right, I'll buy your dad a house, your mum a tanning bed, and your sister a car.
Oh, lovely.
That's what convinced him to sign for Tottenham.
Well, fair dues. I mean, I'm not going to knock on that. That's great, And
I think it was £250,000 for his dad as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Ivan Scholar nearly broke Tottenham, to be fair.
Well, would we have won the FA Cup without him? Look at it this way, if we hadn't won the FA Cup that year, I mean, Gascoigne got us to the final on his own nearly, right?
Yeah, he did.
That was the year we nearly went bust. We may well have gone bust only for that. So,
You look at Gazza. I mean, I love him I don't agree with everything done in his personal life. I think he's been a bit of an idiot in his personal life. But separate that from the footballing, by Jesus, what a talent.
Yeah. I still think that the craziest moment for Gazza was at the end of the 3-1 semi-final against Arsenal when he's been interviewed, and he was as hyper, and he says, "I'm off to get me suit." Remember that bit?
Yeah.
Oh my
do you
God!
know what? I am actually thinking he could. Look, I'm diagnosed ADHD, right, and autistic, right. I am looking at Paul Gascoigne back then, and I'm thinking, he's very much ADHD because he's all over the sort of place.
Very possible, yeah. Because in those days, he probably hadn't been diagnosed properly, you know.
Yeah, and there was back in them days, there was no diagnosis for that. It's only the last, say, 10 years or the last 15 years that properly diagnoses have come in. And I swear a lot of footballers are probably autistic and ADHD.
Probably, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
If you were to test half of them, I guaranteed 50% of them would be.
Yeah, you could be right. You could be. But certainly, it's something that maybe the clubs might need to look at and to give every help and assistance to anyone that might be in the spectrum. You know.
Now, you mentioned Dele Alli. You look at Dele Alli his time at Tottenham. I think Tottenham failed Dele Alli. To be fair,
I don't know. John, it's the way the club can only have influence on the player when he's in the ground and he's going to matches. It's the free time that kills these lads, and the company they're keeping. And I mean, you can't watch them 24/7. Well, you could, but very hard to do. You know, I think Dele Alli just got a victim of his own fame. You know.
Yeah, and the hangers on as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Neil Shafton says a written law passed by. Do you want to read that one out, Philip?
Yeah, written law passed by a legislative body, violation of the hate crime statute. I haven't been following, but did he inhale nitrous or did he pretend? What the F was he thinking? Well, apparently he did inhale it and put it up on inhaling it in private. Okay, bad enough, but to put it up on Instagram afterwards, that's folly. That's absolutely stupid. You know, and that's why he's left himself wide open now to any punishment that comes his way because he did it. Because over here, Neil, or in England anyway, it's a Class C drug. It's an offence.
Yeah.
You know?
And to do it live on wherever he did it on, he's an idiot for doing that.
Oh, gee, I don't know.
I mean, nobody would have known the difference if he just done it, and nobody would have known.
If he did it in private and kept it to himself, nobody would know unless he came in talking in a very high pitched voice next Monday morning. But apart from that, you know. Oh.
You can imagine. You can imagine, couldn't you? Hi, Ange. How are you doing? I've come in. What's wrong with your voice, Biss? I got kicked in the goalies by the Fiji's. Anyway, I'm good. Right. Simply, he says, Bissouma is a 27-year-old experienced player. When will he grow up and stop acting like a gay?
Yeah, that's
very good point as well.
Good point. Yeah.
Statue here, crimes are one, drug use is another one. This is now in America.
Yeah, America would be different now. Because America is done state-wise. I mean, marijuana and cannabis is legal in some states and not in others, you know. So.
Big up to DJ Sammy, says Wayne, USA football team. We've got media training all day. Yeah, we went over that a little bit. Bissouma has been poor since well, look, I think Bissouma for me, Philip, has been very poor. He may have had the odd good game, but he hasn't been consistent for me.
No,
where you have been rarely sort of Dermo, you're talking rubbish here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he hasn't been consistent, but it is what it is with him now. I mean, he's made probably a fatal mistake as regards his Tottenham career, and he'll live to pay for that for the rest of his life. I mean, this could be a downward spiral for him now. He might end up going to a championship team. My feeling is he'll go abroad, but I mean, he's sunk his Tottenham career by one stupid act of folly that he should never have done.
Yeah, no. Neil, so can I just say, if anyone wants to get in touch with us for anything, whatever to do with the channel, if you've got an idea for the show, or you want us to do a show and something, or just anything, and maybe a question you want to come on and, onto a podcast with me and Philip and Tequila and the guys, and a bit like Boris, join our Patreon channel. The link is in the chat. Also, our email address is down there as well. The Professional Footballers Group, the PFA, which I think they're a waste of time too, will represent him. There is players' assistance a component within the PFA. he might have to go to rehab in order to become eligible. Well, look,
possible.
I mean, it depends how long he's been taking it. If this was a one-off, if he's only taken it just the once, has he been constantly taking it? And secondly, if he does have to go to rehab, does that then give Tottenham to cancel his contract?
Oh, boys, going into rehab would not be a reason for cancelling a contract. But there's probably a clause in all players' contract that if you engage in activity which is detrimental to the good name of the club or involves possibly breaking the law, then yes, there will be a reason to cancel his contract. It depends on the terms of his contract, Dermot, but I think that the club will be cute enough to put that into every player's contract, because you never know what can happen during the term of a 5-year deal, you know. And but as for cancelling his contract, they might just put him on the transfer list and leave it at that, you know. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will work that one out. You're mute, Dermot.
Sorry. If you get in contact on the channel email, I then pass it on to Tequila. I'll get Tequila logged into that channel with email, and then he'll be able to get hold of it from there. But Wayne says, big up Wayne. He says he hasn't done his normal big intro. You know, I was looking forward to you. You are the master of that. Bissouma needs to pull his head out of his up. Right, start again, Dermot. Start again. Come on, get your teeth in and start again. Bissouma needs to pull his head out of his ass and grow up. 100%.
Yep.
I couldn't have put that better myself. Time to be an adult and earn whatever ridiculous wages is on. And that is the problem. These guys are not on small wages. These guys are on 80, 90, 100 grand a week. He needs to pull his head out of his ass and grow up.
Too much time on his hands and too much money. That's probably one of the problems.
It is. It really is. Jailing him doesn't address the fact that he used controlled substance. He needs to seek help. Which jail would really address it? And no jail would. Chances
are he'd be offered it more in jail than he was outside the jail. I don't think it'll ever come to that. I don't think that it's like for a first offence like that. If he was pulled over into court, he'd probably get a fine or something like that. He wouldn't get jail.
Am I right to think, Philip, this is probably the first time we've had something like this at Tottenham?
Well, the first time it's been made public anyway,
Yeah, just go through the chat there. Be back in a minute there, Philip. Sorry.
Right. I'll just go down and get this now. Yeah, just bear with me, lads, a minute. I'm just trying to get the pick up where the chat went to. Okay, here we go. Peter is saying Poch's history. Yeah, he is, but fair do so. I'm delighted for him. He's got a new job now, and he'll do well in America, I think. And Tequila again. No offense to you good people in the chat, but internet can be crazy, and we know that, that's for sure. And Neil is saying paper or plastic. Right, I'm not quite sure what you mean there, Neil. Maybe just come back to me on that one, would you? And Wayne is saying this is for Tequila. He's saying, I'll see what I can do over the weekend.
Sorry about that. Where are you, Philip?
Yeah, Neil Shafton. George Best was out of control. He was, but George Best was the original rebel without a cause.
Was he the first superstar, do you think?
He was, yeah, he was. I mean, George Best came in with long hair when everybody else had short hair. He was a rebel, you know, but what a genius he really was. But he's one player too that could have done with a bit of control from his club as well, you know.
Well, Matt Busby did try and help him.
Oh, he did, yeah. But like in those days, he didn't know how to handle it because it never really happened before, you know. He was a one-off.
Yeah.
At the time.
Terry Wright says, "Big up, gents. Big up, Terry. Hope you're doing well." Neil Shafton said, "There will always be someone who tries to leech money and gear by pretending to be someone's friend. When you're a footballer, there will always be someone." Yeah, that's so true.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hangers on. Hangers on.
I am sure the 100 grand a week killed Delhi.
Well, he lived a very nice lifestyle.
Yeah. And Tequila says 99,000 of that went on Fortnite every week.
Yeah, he was big into the Fortnite, wasn't
he? Yeah, he is. Big up to Tequila. Football and drink have always gone together. Vaping is a real problem because of how many people use it. It's so true.
That's just another thing, because vaping isn't illegal, but some people say it should be.
Yeah, Terry's saying, in my opinion, Bissouma should have gotten an 8-game suspension minimum and a fine. Total knucklehead.
Could still happen, Terry. Could still happen.
How many fans are angry with it? There's a lot of angry fans with them.
Oh, quite right. We're all angry about it. You can't defend it. It's indefensible. That's really
it is indefensible. Tequila says it's all about bringing the club into disrepute. Yeah, it is. And
you can be bloody sure the likes of Sky Sports and that will make a meal out of this. Anything they can down Tottenham on, they will.
Yeah. Adidas Team GB football jersey, bright red, got it yesterday, shirt. Well.
All right.
Yeah. You comment on Audi. I don't know what that was about. Oh, yeah. Oh, is that what that meant?
Yeah.
Paper or plastic. Was that? I'll get what that means now. Last bit, Philip, before we end off. It is only a quick show tonight, lads. So there really wasn't a lot of news about, and Bissouma's the only news about. Rarely. Now, transfers, Philip. We're into the last 2 weeks of the window. Ange again with his press conference, it says, thankfully, he was asked about his transfer window and says, he was asked about Solanke and what he's made of him since he's joined the club. He says, thankfully, it is what we expected. He's a top pro, good guy. He has that sort of settled in the dressing room really well. Footballing wise, you can see he has the aptitudes that kind of fit into what we want to do here. Really well. There is still an adjustment period, but there, as we play a little bit differently and train differently, and we have seen that with every signing that comes in. So far, he has fit in really well with the group and the training. We still have a couple of sessions to go, but so far, so good. That was on Solanke. I was talking to our source today. I'll get to answer that in a minute. Sorry, Philip. Our source was telling me 3 more signings in the door before the end of the window. That's what I'm hearing.
Very good. That'll be good.
Is one of them, this one, Tottenham, this is on Give Me Sport. Is Tottenham in talks to sign Monaco defender Vanderson? The French outfit, Philip, according to the article in Give Me Sport, are demanding around £34.27 million, which works out to be €40 million for his services. Is he one of the areas that we need to look at in the last 2 weeks of the window?
Oh, God. Like, we have 3 good centre-backs at the minute. We've got 4 if you include Ashley Phillips. I really think we need a good winger, a good crossing winger. That's my priority at the minute.
Yeah.
We have our striker, and hopefully Solanke will fit in nicely. But you need someone to provide the bullets for him.
Yeah.
And as has been said a lot on this channel, our crossing stats are not good.
Look,
and maybe someone like that is what's needed, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I love Brennan Johnson. You know, he's one of my... Sorry.
Yeah.
I need to get one of these AirPods a lot better. Look, Brennan Johnson, for me, he's one of my favourite players. I like him. I like what they say. I think he's a good lad. He's one of these lads that is... He's a good lad. He doesn't do anything stupid. He goes in, trains, plays his football, but he doesn't get a love from a lot of the fans. I think his crossing needs improving a hell of a lot, personally. But it's there. So are you looking at a winger then, Philip, and the number 6? Or are you looking at a winger and the number 8? Because there's also talk as well, before you answer that, sorry. There's also talk as well that Ivan Toney can still be coming to Tottenham.
That I find hard to believe, because the way we play, it means one of Solanke or Ivan Toney is going to be on the bench every game. And you don't pay 60 million for a player and bench him. So I really can't see that happening, you know?
Well, I tell you why. Sorry about the noise. I tell you why I say that. He's out of contract in January. And there's 3 clubs monitoring. Man United and Tottenham are the 2 clubs. I don't know who the 3rd club is.
Yeah, probably Chelsea after everybody else.
Yeah. It could be a chance on deadline day that they could slap a £25 million bid on for him. Right? He's out of contract in January. He can go for free. Take it or leave it.
Is it not June he's out in?
No. He can go to another club free in January because he'll have then 6 months left in his contract. So there's a risk they could lose it. It's the Kane thing again. Brentford are with Tony this season as we were last season with Harry Kane.
I have no problem taking Tony, but I don't think he's going to come to be sitting. Okay, maybe the competition is good, but I just can't see it.
No, I know Richie. Richie will probably leave.
Well, there's no sign of that at the moment either. No, I think at the minute our definite needs are a really dynamic number 6, a winger. And I don't know what the situation with Conor Gallagher is, but apparently Chelsea refused to sell him to us for 45 million, but they were quite happy to sell him to Real Atletico Madrid for 35 million.
Yeah.
So that just shows you what we think he doesn't want to come. We don't want him now anyway, I don't think. But
he doesn't want to come because we're not in the Champions League.
Right, okay.
But he hasn't got a future at Chelsea, and the deal for Atletico Madrid's collapsed, so he may end up coming to us. We are one of the clubs. We've actually gone back in for him again.
Yeah, interesting.
So, well, look, it's going to be interesting, Philip. Terry Wright says, I'm quite excited about Solanke. So am I. He could be terrific for us. And if we get Ivan Toney, could you see Ange playing 2 up front?
No.
He might. He did at Celtic a little bit, Philip.
I know. His 4-4-2 is a bit dinosaur. It's a dinosaur formation at the moment.
It's coming back in. 4-4-2 is coming back in.
Listen, I have a completely open mind on it, but I just think if we sign Toney, I'll be quite amazed if we do. But anyway.
And then Terry Wright, to end off the show, Terry Wright says, maybe if we bring in Van der Sar, Porro could move to the right wing. Porro is probably his second best winger in the team. Yeah. Also, Philip, to play Rudu with Van der Ven and push Romero as a number 6 where he plays for Argentina.
Yeah, or you could push Van der Ven as left back. Another way of doing it.
We're quite verticalised at the
back. We've got quite a flexible back 4. Let's hope they defend like a back 4 this time, not like some of the pre-season. That was a bit hairy, but then again, we didn't have a full back 4 out.
You were hiding behind your couch at one point. But look, that is the end of the show. There isn't a lot of news about, guys, so that's why it's only a 50-minute show tonight. Look, we've got lots coming up for the build-up for the Leicester game on Monday. We've got a new pre-match show on Monday before the game. It's called Tottenham Team Talk, where we'll me and Philip or me, whoever, will go on and talk about the lineup and get you into the mood, build you up for the game. Then we have the watch along, and then 15 minutes after, at 10:15 on Monday, Post-Match Live starts, our new post-match show. Me and Tequila are doing it. Oh, Tequila's not around Monday. Maybe you and me, Philip.
Yeah,
we'll do this on Monday, Post-Match Live, where we hopefully get some of you guys on that talk about the game, and we'll go through the game, and we'll get our raw emotions of what we've seen, happy, sad, whatever, and we'll give you it straight how we're feeling.
Do we need to buy a bleeping machine, Dermot?
Yeah, we'll do for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. But the problem with me, Philip, is very quickly. Every time we lose, you say you keep going. So I don't know how you're going to get you back for the post-match live show.
Have to tie me to the desk.
Yeah, have to tie you to the chair. I don't. What you get up with rope in your own life, Philip, is down to you. Don't bring the channel into disrepute.
Right, Dermot, I won't.
Yeah, our pre-match show is on Sunday. We've got a few pre-records as well going out Sunday and Monday. Philip's Look Back in Time is out, guys. Please get over and look at that. He put a lot of time into that. It's a new feature we're bringing in as well this season, where Philip will take you back to every game. We'll go back and get Philip's experience of games gone by. It's a new thing we're doing, so please give that a watch. And then we are back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock with the Cockerel Clock podcast. Mrs. Tron tried saying it yesterday, and it is a tongue twister. Even she got it wrong.
Yeah, I know.
So the Cockerel Clock. See, there's not even cock. See, I get it wrong. We'll be back tomorrow at 9. Around the Grounds course, guys, back on Saturday at 2:45. Premier League, Championship, League 1, 2, non-league. We're bringing the latest. Then on Sunday at 4 o'clock, me and Philip are bringing you live Premier League watch along on the European Football Till We Die channel. And then 9 o'clock, we're on THFC Till I Die with the pre-match for the big match on Monday. Whatever you do, Philip, where can people find you very quickly before we leave?
Well, you're skulking around here most of the time. Whenever I'll be here most of the Yeah. Also, I must put it up the actual address. I can never remember. I have a music channel, videos that I take in Dublin most Tuesday nights, and if you like sort of classic rock and stuff, it's a good old view. And I'll put up the proper title for the next game.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you in the link. Listen, guys, thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button. We're on the march for 2K. Whatever you do, come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange we trust. And because the king is not here. Guys.